Hello, what's up, YouTubers again? In fact, I, I still did not plan to make this video. Anyhow, nevertheless, I still, turned up in front of this camera to try to make my, this night a little bit more productive and positive after after experiencing quite another lot of shite, a little I'd say quite lots another lot of shite storm perhaps. Maybe I have exaggerated what happened a little bit. Still, nevertheless, I did my utmost best to prove to the other party that I have become someone quite considerably different from what I used to in the past. And I would like to, I've always liked to strive to make positive changes to myself, and in turn bring positive changes and influences to the rest of the world, not just to people who have similar experiences, or who share similar experiences with me. Excuse me, I beg your pardon for the grammatical error that I just made. Nevertheless, I just like to other than trying to make myself remain positive and productive at this night, I would like to talk about what I did before I filmed this video, before I commenced this filming session. In fact, I dipped around the interweb, by watching a bit of YouTube videos such as the honest government ad, that particular channel. After I fapped, to some porno, as usual, as far as I'm concerned. So which means I still have plenty of other things to do, which means I still have plenty of something else to attend to after I conclude this filming session. As you can see, I have already been planning quite ahead. I have been thinking quite far ahead, which I don't quite know if I have done, if it brings me more merits or demerits, either in the long run or in the short run, or both, or judging from both angles. So I perceive it shall forever, at least remain a question pending to get solved within the next couple of years, if not forever. So I suppose it's at least it still keeps your mind occupied by making by making vids, by creating contents online, whenever you don't have anyone to to speak with, or to exchange ideas and thoughts with. Well, of course I have my grandma on my side. Well, at least at her residence, at least God still hasn't taken away such opportunity, such wonderful person whom I care quite much and love quite much. Of course, it all I suppose it all kind of work both ways, since I am, what I'm doing here is merely loving someone who loves me in return, and I suppose it can't really count as true love, in God's eyes, in His sight. Maybe I'm not sure, but yeah, all the so far what I have read, what I managed to gather from the Bible, pretty much points to one single conclusion as to how I should define true love, or real friendship, or real true fellowship with anyone, not just someone in particular. Since love exists as a as quite a universal, if not generic human attributes throughout the whole cosmos, so throughout the whole planet Earth, if not throughout the whole cosmos. Yeah, to put it more accurately. Well, so yeah, even at this point, even at this very moment, I'm still trying to make up my mind whether I should include some Bible readings in this particular filming session. Perhaps I should. So let's turn, oops, excuse me, let's grab the Bible and continue with my previous filming session. Reading the Bible. I actually can't remember which verse of the Gospel of Mark I stopped by, and how about we just start from yeah, I believe I stopped at the end of the chapter 8 of the Gospel of Matthew, the Gospel of Mark. Perhaps I should resume from chapter 9. Yeah, the Gospel of Mark chapter 9, King James Version. And he said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that there be some of them that stand here, which shall not taste of death, till they have seen the kingdom of God come with power. And after 6 days Jesus taketh with him Peter and James and John, and leadeth them up into a high mountain, apart by themselves, and he was transfigured before them, and his raiment became shining, exceeding white as snow, so as no fuller on earth can white them. And there appeared unto them Elias with Moses, and they were talking with Jesus. And Peter answered and said to Jesus, Master, it is good for us to be here, and let us make 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. For he wist not what to say, for they were sore afraid. And there was a cloud that overshadowed them, and a voice came out of the cloud, saying, This is my beloved Son, hear him. And suddenly, when they had looked round about, they saw no man any more, save Jesus only with themselves. And as they came down from the mountain, he charged them that they should tell no man what things they had seen, till the Son of Man was risen from the dead. And they kept that saying with themselves, questioning one with another what the rising from the dead should mean. And they asked him, saying, Why say the scribes that Elias must first come? And he answered and told them, Elias verily cometh first, and restoreth all things. And how it is written of the Son of Man, that he must suffer many things, and be set at naught. But I say unto you, that Elias is indeed it is indeed come, and they have done unto him whatsoever they listed, as it is written of him. And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him, saluted him. And he asked the scribes, What question ye with them? And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit. And wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him, and he foameth, and gnasheth with his teeth, and pineth away, and spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. He answereth him, and saith, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him. And when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground, and wallowed foaming. And he asked his father, How long is it ago since this came unto him? And he said, Of a child. And oft times it hath cast him into the fire, and into the waters, to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have passion on us, and help us. Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And straightway the father of the child cried out, and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help thou mine unbelief. When Jesus saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him, and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried, and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was as one dead, insomuch that many said, He is dead. But Jesus took him by the hand, and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why could not we cast him out? And he said unto them, This kind can come forth by nothing, but by prayer and fasting. And they departed thence, and passed through Galilee. And he would not that any man should know it. For he taught his disciples, and said unto them, The Son of Man is delivered into the hands of men, and they shall kill him. And after that he is killed, he shall rise the third day. But they understood not that saying, and were afraid to ask him. And he came to Capernaum, and being in the house, he asked them, What was it that ye disputed among yourselves by the way? But they held their peace. For by the way they had disputed among themselves who should be the greatest. And he sat down, and called the 12, and saith unto them, If any man desire to be first, the same shall be last of all, and servant of all. And he took a child, and set him in the midst of them. And when he had taken him in his arms, he said unto them, Whosoever shall receive one of such children in my name, receiveth me. And whosoever shall receive me, receiveth not me, but him that sent me. And John answered him, saying, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and he followeth not us, and we forbade him, because he followeth not us. But Jesus said, Forbid him not, for there is no man which shall do a miracle in my name, that can lightly speak evil of me. For he that is not against us is on our part. For whosoever shall give you a cup of water to drink in my name, because ye belong to Christ, verily I say unto you, he shall not lose his reward. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he were cast into the sea. And if thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter into life maimed, than having 2 hands to go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thy foot offend thee, cut it off. It is better for thee to enter hot into life, than having 2 feet to be cast into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out. It is better for thee to enter into the kingdom of God with 1 eye, than having 2 eyes to be cast into hell fire, where their worm dieth not, and the fire is not quenched. For every one shall be salted with fire, and every sacrifice shall be salted with salt. Salt is good, but if the salt have lost his saltness, wherewith will ye season it? Have salt in yourselves, and have peace one with another. Jesus, I beg your pardon if I can't continue making this, because I can already perceive my voice begins to sound so hoarse and abnormal. Perhaps it's the best, I'd best hot filming for now, since I have done my best in this filming session. And should you have any questions for me, regarding the Bible, regarding life, regarding how to overcome anxieties associated with insecurities and this shite, this pandemic shite, of course, and etc. So anyway, guys, thank you very much again for watching and listening. I look forward to receiving your comments and responses below this video, and I shall try my utmost best to reply to each and every one of them. And yeah, I still have plenty of vids of created contents pending to get edited and finalized, and I humbly beg your pardon again for not uploading them promptly, since I have fallen quite sick and weakened these days. I have been experiencing plenty of pain on my thighs and my on my hip and thighs for some allegedly unknown reasons, which I perceive it could pose some serious harm, and and then compromises my mobility my physical mobility in the future, therefore could potentially render me unable to walk without you having to use a wheelchair. I'm not trying to enchant myself with a curse or anything, but I just kind of like I said before, hoping for the best, and in the meantime prepare for the worst. Anyway, guys, I sincerely you are having a better day or a better night than I am, and take care of yourselves out there. Stay put, stay faithful, and stay safe, remain steadfast, and stay tuned. Bye bye, take care, cheers.